probably finished reading The Millionaire Fast Lane, figured out what is really wrong with the whole job market, and then really got into the red pill. And then when you found out about the red pill, you're just like, man, this is BS. And then you started looking at some alpha dudes and you were seeing like, yeah, I just definitely need that lifestyle, definitely need the car, money, everything, the body, yeah. I definitely need that 100%. And then you try to do that for a while and then you're just trying to escape it, and then you fall into this the weird side of the internet where it just gets a little like off. And as it's getting a little bit off, what you actually start to realize is that there's kind of a lot of stuff being said that's not really being done. So like you get a lot of influences, like they say something and then they mean something else, and then it just like keeps on going like that. And then the kind of thinking or the purpose of this whole escaping the matrix thing actually came full circle to actually taking you back into it. So it's kind of like this whole confusing thing, and then all of that time and effort feels like it's wasted. So that's kind of the whole thing with Gen Z, basically. Gen Z has this kind of obsession with escaping the matrix. But what does that actually mean? Basically, in like really simple terms, it just means like having a free life and being able to express yourself in a way that you really want to. And then what is a matrix? Like if we just like try to like think about it, like what exactly is a matrix? I'm not going to use the whole dictionary term of it, but basically a matrix is basically a system of production to fulfill a specific purpose with its individual units, and that unit would be you or me. All right, so with that, what Gen Z or like everyone basically has this whole obsession with is trying to express yourself in a way that you'd really want to. But if that's the case, what inherently is stopping you? The only thing that makes anything or a matrix that effective is the ability to create illusions. So that's basically what it is. It's just having the ability to lie to your face and you believing that lie. And as long as you believe that lie, you will do actions which are basically fulfilling. So when you find this whole red pill thing that just like really soured, what initially made it appealing was the fact that it was saying some truth. It was saying some truth that was actually making some sense, and then some lies got into it, and then a bit more, and then just like and it just like turned into a pile of BS basically. And yeah, that's usually what happens when you try to express some sort of truth within society and stuff like that. Like if it's really profound, usually a lot of people agree, and then other people start to give their own opinions, and then that turns into some sort of manipulation, and the whole message behind it just gets diluted until basically you're trapped back inside. So an example of how this would work was just beyond even the whole Matrix films, because basically everyone's already seen the Matrix films. Basically, this obsession with trying to escape it is actually a natural thing. What it is, basically, if we were taking it into philosophy terms, is basically you're trying to understand the truth. But why would you want to understand the truth? Because good things or good outcomes come from the truth. Bad things or bad outcomes fall from having a lack of foundation in truth, or just basically believing in BS all the time. So before there was the whole Matrix, there was another inspirational movie that actually came through, and that was called Dark City. So Dark City, we find this character named John Murdoch. So with John, basically, he has amnesia. He can't remember anything, like at all. He doesn't know, but he's got like these weird psychic powers and stuff. And then there's these bald three guys that are really pale and that try to like basically like make him sleep, basically, and bring him back into the fold. So every night in Dark City, there's always a change where everyone...
Wake up! Hey! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! No! Can anybody hear me?
goes to sleep, and everyone has a new position in life. We could take this way far, but we're gonna make this more simpler to just digest. So basically, this whole changing of position just ensures that you always have either a high position in society or a low position in society, but you're still within it. So what John's trying to do is he's trying to reach like this Palm Beach, or his own expression of, well, if you were to say heaven or whatever equivalent you can think about in your head. So as he's trying to reach it, he starts to develop and understand himself. He starts to gain the perception of his powers, and then he realizes that there is no Palm Beach. It was a lie that he was told so that he could get back into the fold. And then eventually he gets some help from a specific doctor, and just not to spoil, maybe you want to like move up like 2 minutes if you don't want to spoil it. And then he gets injected with a syringe with memories on how to use his powers. So the whole film, or Escaping the Matrix, is basically before it got all this whole BS behind it, was the ability to use your own mind, or the ability to use your mind to think. Because if you were to use or rely on another person's mind, what usually happens is that if that person no longer can decipher or find a way to actually understand what is the truth for them, and you still try to like follow or copy them, then you essentially get back into lies, and you can't really discern what is the truth or what is not the truth, to essentially get good outcomes. Because essentially what you're trying to do, or what your soul is trying to do, is basically evolve. And as you're trying to evolve, you're trying to basically, get these good outcomes, which are like they're appealing materialistically. They're appealing, like, get the car, get the body, and those things are all appealing, but like they're all just a secondary effect of you understanding what is the truth and what is the truth for you. And that's usually what Gen Z, or just like the whole human race, is trying to understand. So yeah, that basically explains like the whole message or meaning behind escaping the Matrix, and what that sensation actually is, which is usually just your soul trying to like get to the truth, or to understand the truth. And what Dark City and all these Matrix films try to teach you is that you can actually use your own mind, which is a much longer path, but like definitely it gives more permanent results, because you essentially understand yourself, and you know what is right and what is not right, and you get to carve your own path to getting all these good outcomes, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is the video. Hope you liked it, and yeah, peace.